food.
You been
I
to
like
Secret
eat,
Pizza?
so. No.
We gotta go Secret Pizza.
Okay, we'll get some Secret Pizza.
Secret Pizza. If you don't know,
But we gotta talk about it like this because it's a secret.
Secret Pizza
We're gonna get some Secret Pizza.
Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are watching from. I hope you are doing well. Welcome to Cannonball MTG. My name is Cannon, and this is a channel where we're going to talk about all things Magic the Gathering. We'll do pack openings, we're talking about new sets, decks that I'm building, all sorts of things. This channel started as Cannon's Collectibles, where I was posting pretty much only pack openings, but I enjoy Magic so much, and I want to keep talking about more and more as we get more and more sets and more new mechanics. So that's just what we are doing. I am joined by Andrew from Untapped with Andy.
What's going on, everyone? I'm Andrew, friend of Cannon. I run a couple of YouTube channels. I've been doing YouTube for like 15-ish years, but only been playing Commander for about 2. I'm pretty familiar with Magic, so excited to be talking about the Secrets of Strixhaven set coming out here in a couple of weeks. If you don't know, I run a channel called Untapped with Andy, where I just started, actually. I talk about Magic, and a lot of people don't like it, and some people do, and that's what I expected, and that's kind of why I did it, so I'm excited to keep that going. And then Cannon and I actually, we feature on another channel called Rule Zero that I co-run with another friend of ours. It's a gameplay channel that we hope to pick up sometime soon. So yeah, that's who I am, and that's what I do. I'm excited to be on the channel to talk about Strixhaven and shoot the shit with my bro about cards that we think are going to be cool. I don't know if they'll be objectively good, but we like them, and that's kind of what we're here to talk about.
And we're going to be talking about the Secrets of Strixhaven set that's coming out. So talking about new cards we're excited about, any new commanders we want to try to build, talk about new mechanics that are coming out, and some few things at the end just related to Magic as a whole. If you wouldn't mind dropping a like down below, hitting that subscribe button, and dropping a comment what your new favorite card from Secrets of Strixhaven is looking to be. Before we jump in, just a couple things I want to address. The audio and video quality for me is going to be a little different in this video. I was unable to find the correct mount for my microphone ahead of the recording, so I had to use my headset mic. And then I did not have more than one battery for my camera, and it died halfway through. So at some point you're going to see me freeze, and the video is going to pick back up, and the quality and the color is going to look a little different. That's because I had to shift to my webcam. But going forward, I've gotten new batteries. I've gotten them out for my mic. So with all that being said, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoy the video. Let's get into Secrets of Strixhaven set review. All right. So Secrets of Strixhaven. Got about 2 weeks till it comes out, 2.5 weeks.
Sounds like it.
April 24th. So figured we just talk about some cards that we're excited for from the set, some things that are coming out with it. There's new land cycle, a lot of fun new mechanics with this prepared addition to Secrets of Strixhaven. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
Whole lot of shenanigans going on. Some cool stuff that's coming back from the original Strixhaven too. So I'm excited to see that, and then, like you said, the new stuff on top of it.
Mm-hmm. And we're turning to the Mystical Archive.
I think
they're
that's
putting some bangers in this one.
Yeah, dude. If I wasn't getting a collector box already, the Mystical Archive bonus sheet was a nail in the coffin. Like that, I have to.
Yeah,
so
Force
many
of
good
Will,
cards.
Adnaz,
Vamp Tutor,
Achroma's Will,
Psych Rift. Yeah, pretty much all the heaters. Like, yeah, pretty insane.
So, yeah, I guess jump right in and make sure I've got this in the right order. Do it in color. All right. Oracle's Restoration is a green sorcery. Target creature you control gets +1/+1 until end of turn. You draw a card and gain 1 life. What are you liking about it?
Dude, this one jumped out at me for a couple of reasons. One, I feel like these story spotlight cards are usually just like kind of bad. And this one isn't. It is a green mana, no colorless pip, sorcery speed cantrip that gains you a life and buffs a creature. Like, I feel like historically green card draw is just not that good. Like, yeah, this draws you 1 card, and like, oh, Harmonize draws you 3. Yeah, but it costs like 4 mana. Like, this is 1 mana, replaces itself, gains you a life, which is probably not really anything in green. But maybe it is if you're running like Golgari. Oh, look at that. We're going to tie that back to the new Dina. Anyway, if you're running like Golgari or like I guess Lane has that. Our buddy Lane has a Celestial Life Gain deck with Lathiel at the helm. So that one life could matter. But I just thought for a common one green to draw a card and buff a creature, I mean that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's. I'm trying to think what decks I would want it in on mine. I mean, even in something like Pantlaza, just have some extra card draw, or
Definitely.
In like old Rutstein to have some extra card draw in there because I can put some stuff on top, so I can be really versatile with that. Yeah, I think it's got a lot of effects, and in something like Clout that turns 1 mana into 1 more mana and card draw.
Yep. Yeah,
So,
I just think I think with green I've been looking, and I don't play a whole lot of green, and if I do, it's in like 3 or more colors. But I think green likes to run a lot of fight spells, so being able to buff a creature for 1 mana, as long as you're not like totally tight on colored mana in your green deck, you buff a creature and then cast your fight spell. It's a potential added removal. It draws you a card. I just think the combination of the card at a common rarity for the spotlight card, like that's I don't know. It was pretty close to a 10 out of 10. Only thing missing is not instant speed. If it was at instant speed, I'd pay $10 for this card. That's so good.
Yeah, if you could replace the card in your hand at instant speed, that would be. I mean, it's kind of. What are some other 1-drops that are? Most other 1-drops for green give it usually hexproof or indestructible of some sort.
Yeah,
right?
it'll be like there's like the Snakeskin Veil. I think it's not Viper's Fang. So I think Viper's Fang's like a black card, or I'm mixing 2 cards together.
Then,
It's funny. I actually was just going through a couple of those today, and I found some in my bulk.
and then
Snakeskin Veil is
there's
one.
Tameo's Safekeeping.
Yep.
Does another
Blossoming
one.
Defense from Lorwyn. And
yeah.
I think those are
Recent
the
one.
like bigger ones. Oh, Gift of the Viper from Modern Horizons 3. That's what I was thinking about.
But I don't think. I mean, none of those draw you a card. do
No,
they?
none of them replace themselves. They just protect your creature, which is still good, and it's at instant speed. The only other one that I can think about, I guess there's 2. There is Veil of Summer, and then the worst version, Autumn's Veil. But even though it's an instant speed, Veil of Summer still says draw a card if an opponent
Yeah.
has cast a blue or black spell this turn. This just draws you a card.
Yeah, there's no stipulations, no prereqs. It'll be fun. I'll be interested to see what decks I decide to put in. I'm sure in pre-release it's gonna do a little bit of work.
I think this is going to be an insane limited card, 100%. And I think it's important that we know too, Cannon, that like to anyone watching, we're discussing this almost exclusively in a casual context. Cannon and I both play CEDH, but our regular pod we play mostly casual. We sit right around like bracket 3, maybe a low 4, but really bracket like 2, 3 is our sweet spot.
We mostly play Commander too. So
True.
I mean, getting in more kind of draft style and things like that. But a lot of this is, if not all of this, is going to be coming from, a Commander standpoint.
Absolutely.
All right. I'll be excited to see that in my common slots in packs, because that'll be, I mean, that's always going to be a great green card to just be like, well, I need to fill something. May as well give myself some card draw and buff
I don't
want to
spend the last $5 in this deck right now, so I'll put in this bulk common that replaces itself. Yeah.
Yeah. Can't.
All right.
beat
What
it.
cards were you looking at? I figure we can just go back and forth.
Yeah. There's Exhibition Tide Caller,
Oh yeah.
because it's got a little fun stuff with Mill.
You do love Mill.
I love me some Mill. Don't tempt me. So if for 1 blue mana, which is crazy, you get a 0/2. You cast an instant or sorcery spell. Target player mills 3 cards. If 5 or more mana was spent to cast that spell, that player mills 10 cards instead. And immediately I read that and think, I can kick a. Of course I'm gonna blank on it.
Maddening Cacophony?
Yeah, I can kick a Maddening
Yeah.
Cacophony, and I'm spending more than 5 mana on it.
That's true.
So, like, all right, if I don't have Brewvac out, I got this out. You're going to mill half your library plus another 10 cards. So, like,
Yeah. I mean, at most, it'll be 60 cards if you cast this on turn 1 and somehow have access to 5 mana. But it'll be half your library plus 10 cards, like you were saying. So
yeah, that was the only thing. I saw that and I was like, I got to put that in Brewvac almost immediately if I pull it.
yeah,
Will it
interesting
be
that
good?
a wizard too. Like I feel like we not only in this set but like historically over, many years we've seen if you control a wizard or return target wizard. So I think I don't know if that's gonna matter as much in decks that want you to mill. But I think that's just a cool piece to it.
I am curious. I didn't think I saw any other creatures, but I want to know if they're going to do anything else with mill, or if this is just like the one card they're going to put it on. Because it stood out as just kind of an odd ad because we haven't had a ton of mill lately. And so I don't know if they're going to do more with mill, or I hope so. Bruvac needs new toys at all times, so
I don't know about all times. I think he's good with the toys. I think maddening cacophony like kicked and then copied is probably fine.
Yeah, it's part of the game.
I do wonder too, like, because it says target player, so this could be in like a Sultai Reanimator deck. Like if you have a 5-mana instant or sorcery, I'm blanking on what that would be, but like if you're running something like this just comes to my head because I was reading about it earlier. I don't think it's a very good card. Maybe it's one for the channel. Who knows? It's called Spell Swindle. It's from March of the Machines. It's 3 and 2 blue. Instant speed, counter target spell, create a number of treasure tokens equal to the spell's mana value, or I think that's what it is. So yeah, maybe you have counter magic, or maybe you have decks in any blue deck, whether it be mono blue or otherwise, that you're not necessarily focused on milling, but you might have a little bit of graveyard interaction.
Yeah,
you mill yourself 10 cards. You look at it's basically a new hand,
Yeah.
Yeah, let me pull this one up. Wisdom of Ages. Why did I like this one? Oh, I know why I like it, because it's 7 mana. Yeah.
Really blue intensive, too.
Yeah, so, all right.
A great card.
I'm going to go on record and say that, like, when I look at cards like this, I think they are face value without thinking anything else. My first thought is 7 CMC in blue? Bad. It's bad. It's a bad card.
Yeah.
However, I recently put together Ashling from Lorwyn, the Is It Ashling, the 2 mana one. She cares about flipping over and casting big spells, so I run like a Thran Dynamo, it's a good card, but I don't think it belongs in every deck. But I run like Apex of Power. Like that card is 10 mana. It sucks.
Yeah.
That's not a good card. But if I can make 10 mana, I can certainly make 7 and put them all back in my hand after casting them. So I think it'll be fun. We were just talking about new deck text. That's a great segue. I think it's more a fun card than it is a good card, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, and also it plays well with a lot of what they're doing with the set, with casting, big mana spells, because, one of the cards we're going to talk about in a little while is the Is It Commander that is the Ward Pay 3 life one.
Oh,
She cares about the size of spells, and if you have that out, and you have, like, Ovika out, you've got so many resources off just that one 7-mana cast. So,
make 7 dudes, put all the big spells back in my hand, and make more dudes, and swing out with a bunch of Phyrexian dudes.
Yeah,
can't be bad.
It's not something that's going to go in every deck, but with the decks it goes in, I think it's going to put in some work. Because you could Wisdom of Ages, return them all back to your hand, cast all your spells, and then still hit them with like a Mizzix Mastery if you're an Is It, to give them all flashback and get a third cast out of them.
Yep.
So that's gonna be a little silly.
It's pretty like the fun thing. I'll say 2 things about this. So one, Ken and I talk a lot about how it's fun to find cards for the 99 of a commander where the card would otherwise just be a dog shit card.
Yes.
Like I saw AJ run Apex of Powers in another deck. One of our other buddies, he was running it in his Is It deck, and I was like, oh, someone else runs that card. Heck yeah. It's a bad card. It's 10 mana at sorcery speed with like 3 red pips. It's not good. But in the right deck, it feels fun. And so like when Ashling is able to pull off spells like that, it's like cool. But the flip side of that is she does nothing and she gets blown out because somebody's like, hey, he's going to cast a 12 mana quadruple extra turn, and then we just lose. So we have to kill him.
Yeah, because you get your one big flip into something, and then everyone's like, you know what? Your time's over. Your time's up, old man.
What was it the other day? I cast a time stretch like turn 7 with 12 mana on turn 7. I'd like to take 4 extra turns real quickly.
Nah, you know
what?
that
got counted into oblivion. So, yeah, I don't think Wisdom of Ages is a good card. I think it is fun, and I'm absolutely putting it in the 99 of Ashling. Plus, the art's cool. I don't know who Jadzi Oracle of Arcavios is, but it's got like a little dude in the middle, and that's fun.
Yeah, and the bundle printing they have is really cool too that they're showing. All right, Lewin. It's the next
Oh
one I
yeah,
wanted to
this is
talk
one of the
about.
legends you were looking at, right?
Yeah, and this is one that I would consider building as well. So, Lewin in Golgari is a 3/4 for 2 generic and a black and a green. She reads, Lewin enters prepared. While it's prepared, you may cast a copy of its spell. Doing so unprepares it. Exile a creature card from your graveyard. Lewin becomes prepared. Activate only as a sorcery. And then you have Pest Friend as the attached sorcery for either a black or a green. Create a 1/1 black and green pest creature token with whenever this token attacks, you gain 1 life. Now, I don't care much. I'm not a big life gain person.
Yeah.
I don't play a lot of life gain decks, but I mean the fact that you can just mill your your deck and constantly have Lewin prepared and just get 1/1 creatures that you can then, you can attack with if you want to use your life, or you can sack them to ping people down or generate more mana. Like, it's the fact that it's not do this only once each turn. Like, I get it would be a little underpowered if they
Sure.
did that, but the ability to just constantly, potentially, just chain this with self mill and constantly having those creatures in.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and we saw in Lorwyn with the Boros dude that you could copy a triggered or activated ability. That said only once each turn. Like, that would have been a bananas card had it not had that clause at the end. So I think it's nice to see when Wizards looks at a card and says, okay, this isn't inherently broken. And if we printed it with only once each turn, it just wouldn't see play. Plus, it's an uncommon, so like I don't
Yeah.
think
It's
I
gonna
don't
be a
think
fun popper.
yeah, absolutely. No, I think this is cool, and you can run the original Beladros in the 99 too. So she makes a bunch of pests. She costs like a bajillion mana. I like big mana spells, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Big mana guy over here.
I like mana, I guess. No, this one looks cool, and I guess while we're on it, what do you think about prepared?
I think it's cool. I think it's a cool way that they've chosen to do the ability to cast some really powerful spells.
Absolutely.
I mean, we've got Ancestral Recall on a card.
Reanimate.
Yeah, like and I get why some are not always, you can re-prepare them per se. You would have to like use the land or whatever that artifact is that they're. I don't remember, what is that? Is that a land?
Yeah,
Artifact?
land or if it's the artifact I'm thinking of, I might have it on.
Oh, here we go.
drive.
Sky Coach Waypoint is one of them.
Okay.
It's just a regular land. You can tap it for generic, or pay 3, tap it, target creature becomes prepared.
Oh, that's right. I did see that one. Okay.
And I guess 3 mana is not a bad rate for that.
No.
I'm glad they didn't make it, like 5. But I don't know. Like, I'll have to see it played because I think it could be really cool. Obviously, I mean, one we're going to talk about later already has a broken combo with Displacer Kitten. Like, not that it does a whole bunch other than draw your deck all potentially, but if you have the mana, but I'll be excited to see how people build around creatures that have prepared as their commanders potentially, and how they're going to choose to keep their creatures prepared or benefit from having that extra. Let's move on to the next one. Resonating Loot. You're going to have to familiarize me with this one.
This is an artifact that gives you mana to only cast instants and sorceries. I think I've been playing a lot of spell slinging lately, so this is even better. It gives your lands the ability to add 2 mana of any one color. Spend this mana only to cast instant and sorcery spells. And then it also has tap, draw a card, activate only if you have 7 or more cards in your hand. And it's 2 and is it? So 2 blue red for all of that. And it's an artifact.
4-drop is crazy for that.
Yeah. So, and Aisling cares about 4. I'm just thinking this in an Aisling perspective, but she cares about casting mana value 4 or more. So, like, this could come down on turn 3 potentially, and then turn 4 all my 4 lands give me 8 mana. Like, that's it's a turn 4 time stretch is what we're talking about potentially. You know what I mean?
God, this guy has extra turns. He loves taking more turns than everyone. I
Well,
like also. I think what's that? Is it deck AJ has where it makes his treasures tappable for mana? Like you put this in there, and suddenly
oh
he's got
yeah, his
all the
Galazeth.
resources in the world to cast instants and sorceries.
Yeah, and it's so funny because like when I started playing, I was certainly not like a spell slinger sort of player. But I don't know. I think this is for me. This is different. This is new. Still relatively new to like playing a lot of Is It, and we watch a fair amount of CEDH. I'd argue to say a lot. I probably watch more CEDH than I watch casual. At 4 mana, I don't think that we're going to see play in this competitively. But like seeing more spell slinging had inspired me to build more spell slinging, and I think this is an insane casual card.
Oh yeah, this will if I can get one, this will be in Gearson, I think, because like there's so many low cost mana spells in there that you are just 1-drop pingers, and so why not double up on those and cast twice as many spells essentially.
Right, and think if you're casting like an Opt, a Consider, a Ponder, you get 3 or 4 of those off in a turn, and then you refill your hand, and then you're looking at 7 cards, then you tap this to draw a card, and then cast like a Brainstorm in response, so you're not wasting the top 3 of your library, you know what I mean? Like,
Shout out Brainstorm.
best, not best card in the game. Go check out my channel if you don't know what I'm talking about. No, I think this card is good in casual. I think I'm going to run it in a number of decks, and you know this about me. It's an artifact, so immediate win.
Oh, yeah.
More artifacts I can put into a deck, like, why not?
Yeah, his homie is a big artifact guy.
Gonna get Midnight Clock tattooed on my ass.
When it strikes 12, it's gonna be a fun time. Something I don't like when they. Oh well, at first I don't like when I can't read, because I read it as you only have 7 cards in your hand, not 7 or more, and I hate that clause so much when they put that on cards. It's like, oh, do this, but only if you have 7 cards in your hand, because like. The Biblioplex, which is a land from the original Strixhaven, allows you to look at the top of your library, and if it's an instant or sorcery, you can do stuff with it. I can't remember how it reads. But you have to have either 0 or no cards in hand, if I'm remembering correctly. And I'm like, that's just... I don't know. I hate when they put the 7 cards in hand.
It makes a seemingly good card, like, almost objectively bad, because like the criteria to meet is just so much more challenging than just like, okay, I'm just gonna take this out and run a card that lets me scry, or like lets me draw another card, or put in another fucking land in that regard, like
because there's gonna be at some point when that comes out and it's just a dead ability, because you're like, especially if it's have 7 cards in hand and you've dumped your hand, and now you're like, well, cool, I'll see you guys in 7 turns when I can tap this, because I'm going to stockpile my cards I draw. But
hope nobody casts a Vandal Blast.
Yeah, I guess that's the point of having repeatable draw, abilities and cantrips. But
definitely,
it'll be fun. I can't wait to see you just chain extra turn spells because all your lands tap for double.
I only run like 2, and they're like, what? It's Time Stretch. That's the
they're
double
not good
one.
ones.
Yeah, and then what's the one from Assassin's Creed? I think it's a reprint. The Temporal Trespass, the Delve one.
Oh, yeah. That's crazy, dude.
Wow, what another great transition. What's the card you want to talk about next? This is it's not rehearsed. It seems like
inspiration.
It, but wow.
Yeah, so this is a big boy. Or person? Dragon? Them? She? I don't know. It is a Elder Dragon. For 5 generic and a red and a blue, you get a 7/7 with flying. Ward, pay 5 life, and instant and sorcery spells you cast have storm. Oh, baby. I saw this and I was like, just let me get this and Ovika out on the board and let's go to town.
Yeah, so I don't know if it would work with Ovika the way you're thinking of, because copy, like... there are cards that say you may exile XYZ from your graveyard. If you do, you may copy it, and if you do that, you may cast the copy. However, if it specifically says copy, that's the only thing that makes Storm like seemingly not as good, is it's not casting, so it doesn't add to Storm count. Otherwise, you would just like double Storm each time you cast or copy something.
Which would be crazy. I guess that's fair. I still think this would be another one I would potentially build, or... build Ovika and have this in here. I'm not sure, like, I don't know which one I would want to run, though, is the problem. Like, I mean, they're similar in, abilities and value and cost that you have to pay. I do like that you have to pay the extra in mana with Ovika.
Yeah.
So that's why I think that would give it a little more protection, maybe. But 5 life isn't nothing. I mean...
Yeah, I was reading about this card, and some people were saying, like, well, 5 life is nothing in Commander. I'm like, it's an eighth of your life. You know what I mean? Like, that's, like you said, it's not nothing. Like, Ward pay 2 life, Ward pay, like, Hexing Squelcher, I'm going to blow it up. I'll pay the 2 life. I don't care. Like, you're not going to run an uncounterable spell game. I will swords your Squelcher and pay the 2 life and give you 3. I don't care. But 5 life, like, that's going to make a difference, man. Especially if you're running, like, fetches and shocks and like, bolt lands. Like, that will make a difference.
You're playing with someone who has a bunch of pingers on board and death triggers, and you're like, wow, I've lost half my life, and we are 4 or 5 turns into this game or something.
Right.
Like,
I either go to 15 or this guy storms off and wins.
Yeah.
So
I think it's gonna be a lot of fun to build. It will be very difficult to not build it as degenerate as possible, because I do have all the extra turn spells from Narset. So just cast 85 billion extra turns in a row.
I'd like to play the game alone and just have the 3 of you watch me, if that's okay.
I'm gonna deck myself through turns before you have another action.
If I'm going out, it's on my terms, damn it. I will deck myself out before you can kill me, before you can pay the 5 life.
Yeah, if I'm down to 1 life and I can, shock myself to death, I'm gonna do that so you don't kill me. But
yeah, I think the only thing about this card is, and like a number of commanders that I think our entire pod look at and goes, oh, this is cool. This has kill me as soon as you can written all over it. If this lands, like, either hold up interaction and then hope no one pulls into targeted removal. But, like, if this lands and sticks around for a turn, like, I do not see a way where the player who casts this and makes it back to their turn and untaps with this on board, I can't see a game that they don't win if that happens. You know what I mean?
No,
like,
that's... I mean, you're just outvaluing everyone no matter what you do. I mean, even if you're just playing, like, low mana pingers in, like, a Gearson deck or something like that.
Right.
All right, I've cast 5 spells, and now I'm going to cast, in the festivities or something, and you're going to take now 5 instances of that damage, but that's actually 3 damage every time because of Gearson in it. So I think it would be a rough go as a commander, because, like, I agree with what you're saying. I think before it's even out on the board, everyone's going to be like, well, I either have to kill them or hold up interaction for that commander. But if you can, cast it as part of another deck, then, especially if you have another creature that people want to focus on, then it's like, pick your poison. Do you want me to have a bunch of hasty creatures? Do you want me to storm? What do you want?
Right. And, like, don't get me wrong, I think anyone who would, like, willingly build this would expect that they're going to get hated out. Because, again, otherwise, the alternative is to let me untap, cast 2 or 3 rituals, and then cast, like, a Jessica's Will, get 30 red mana, and look at the top 15 cards of my... Like, no, that's not going to happen.
All I need is a Crackle with Power, and everyone's gone.
Exactly.
Which also would then storm.
yes. I'll pay 1 into X, and then storm is 10, so you're all going to take 100 damage or whatever. Yeah, that's silly.
Man. Yeah, it'll be fun. It's not going to see any play anywhere outside of casual play.
No, 7 mana is too much.
Yeah, it's just, you can't commit to that. But it'll be fun. All right, Grave Researcher. Tell me what you got, buddy.
Yeah, this one I think is one of the prepared cards that isn't just going to be fun. I think it's actually good. So again, mostly talking in a casual kaleidoscope here. But so Grave Researcher is a 2 and a black, 3/3 Troll Warlock. At the beginning of your upkeep, Surveil 1. Already, that's good. A 3/3 body that gives you an extra look each turn. I think that's great. Then, if there are 3 or more creature cards in your graveyard, this creature becomes prepared. And its prepared spell is Reanimate. I think that is banana pancakes, dude. Like, this is two a 3/3 body that lets me cast reanimate pretty much every turn if I want to.
Yeah, I saw this and I was like, man, I just have to build Old Rutstein as a creatures only deck.
Yeah.
Have this out, and then every turn I get to reanimate something. Like,
It's insane.
that's. And I saw some people talking about it, and they brought up a good point that if it comes out early, if you get your third creature and hit it, then you do have to wait if you don't pull a creature on the next surveil and you can't get one in. So like it can, or I could see a scenario where it is slow in some starts or at the beginning of the game or in certain situations, especially if someone is running Graveyard Hate. But like, I mean, once you get this thing up and rolling, you're not gonna be able to beat it. Like, you're just constantly pulling something back from the graveyard.
Definitely.
Uh-oh.
Am I
You're
frozen on your
frozen.
screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tough.
Anyway, yeah, you were saying that comes down early for Grave Researcher. If it comes down early, it'll be hard to consistently prepare it because if you're focusing on just that card for your graveyard to be full, that's going to be really slow. And then someone's going to figure out that, oh, I don't want him casting Reanimate every turn, so let's kill that.
Yeah.
So I think it does need to be coupled with other like surveil discard engines, but like this is like I saw this card and immediately thought Slimefoot and Squee. You know, like this is a 3-drop in this deck is
It's gonna be I think it's gonna be really, really good in the 99. Because I mean, even if you get it down, you get your trigger, and then you cast it once, and someone's like, well, I don't want you to have that anymore, and you blow it up. Like, all right, cool, I got surveil and reanimate all in one swoop. Like,
right.
Cool. I'll just use the actual reanimate I have in my deck
That I also
back.
run in the 99. Yeah. And then Slimefoot is reanimate on a stick. So like that's what he wants to do anyway.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I think this is gonna be a lot of fun. This is a cool card.
I like it. Yeah, and I think weirdly enough, I think this might 3 mana is still pretty high for a creature that just gives you an extra look, and we don't see a lot of like sorcery speed reanimate. We see more like a Hoarding Broodlord kind of thing in CEDH. So we see more lines that have to do with that, and then anything with your graveyard is usually going to be Breach first, Breach Brain Freeze second, and then third you'll see a reanimate line. But I don't know. I think this could see CEDH play. I think it could. Out of the ones we've talked about so far, I think this is probably the most likely.
Yeah, I think it'd be the most well suited. I would be curious if people would be hitting the 3 creatures in the yard enough for that.
There is that.
Because I think, like, cause I'm trying to think what deck would want to play it. Because the only one I'm thinking of that has a bunch of creatures would be Sisay, but Sisay doesn't want this. Cause
almost exclusively Legends, yeah. The ones that I'm thinking about are a little bit more fringe, like Grist the Hunger Tide is a creature graveyard deck.
I always forget Golgari be playing.
Yeah, they play weird stuff too, man.
Yeah, like
Get Rogged, running like the Dakmor salvage line. So there are some graveyard interaction decks. They're again a little bit more fringe in CEDH. We don't see them a lot because they just don't hold up to the meta at all.
And if they win, they don't have a ton of entries to support it. So
exactly.
Gotta go dig it in.
Maybe this card is good in Hulk decks. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
I think
casual?
it's gonna be really, really good in casual. I mean, you get 2 copies of Reanimate in your deck, and you can use one of the Reanimates to reanimate this. Like, that's
Singleton Schmingleton. We're playing standard now, baby.
Yeah, jeez. Dual Tactics, which is just really simple. It is it's a card for Gearson and Obnixilis. So Dual Tactics is a red sorcery. It's a 1-drop. Dual Tactics deals 1 damage to target creature. It can't block this turn. Ooh, would not be an Ob card. I misread it.
I think you're thinking that because I thought it was an Ob card.
Yes.
And you were like, nope, creature.
Yes, but in Gearson, it's another Lightning Bolt.
It's a sorcery speed Lightning Bolt. That's exactly what it is.
So I don't know. I think it'll be cool. I don't know that it's going to do anything crazy. I think it's going to be cool in the decks it's in. It's another, it's again, we're not playing Singleton really anymore because I've got this and in the festivities and all the other pingers. So I just like when they drop new 1-drop, 1 damage spells like this.
Plus this has
Gearson.
flashback, which is like not something to forget. I mean, again, I know it's sorcery speed, but it's a turn 1 play if you're in not seat 2 and someone played, you know, a Birds of Paradise into a Soul Ring into an Arcane Signet. You're like, wait, hold on. Let's slow this player down who has 5 mana and went first. I can kill his bird and then blow something up later on in the game. Like, that's...
Yeah. Or if they've got, I mean, if, you know, someone's got a big creature on board and I'm running Garrison, I can hit him once and then flashback it and hit him again, and that's 6 damage right there.
6 damage for 3 mana out of basically 1 spell is like, that's pretty not bad.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna, you know, be anything crazy. I think it's an uncommon for a reason, but I think it's gonna be fun in the few decks that it's gonna be in. All right, Berta, baby, you're legendary.
Yeah,
Tell me about Berta.
This is one, Cannon and I were talking about legends that we thought we might build, and I was looking through them, and I saw a couple, like they're the ones, like, I think it's one you're going to talk about later. There are ones that just look like face value, it looks insane, right? But this one, there was the only one that really, like, jumped out at me. Okay, so Berta, Wise Extrapolator, is for 2, a green and a blue, so 2 in Simic, is legendary creature, frog druid. It's a 1/4 with a new ability, which I think is really cool. It's kind of like Prowess, I think. I think it's like Prowess, but it's for counters. Whenever you cast a spell, if the amount of mana you spent, like you were saying earlier, it's not converted mana cost, it's the amount that you spent, which I think is notable,
Yes.
is greater than this creature's power or toughness, also good, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. So to me, that reads like a combination of Evolve and Prowess. So it gives you the counter, and it's on cast, not on enter. So I kind of feel like it's, the more I'm like talking about it out loud, it's like taking the 2 good things from Prowess and Evolve and putting it on the one mechanic. I think that's cool.
Yeah, and it being the mana cost or the mana spent again, I think that is such a cool differentiation from, you know, other you know, I'm blanking all the other mechanics, but anything that's mana value or mana cost, because again, you're going to be able to kick and overload things and get the maximum benefit out of them because you're spending more mana on it. But I mean, is this a Sisei card or is
No, and I think this deck wants to be an X spells deck. I think
That's
for fair. You know, this is weird. You know, we're both fans of Play to Win, right? Pretty big fans of Play to Win. So what I like that they do when they do new set stuff for their new set episode is they take commanders that, I don't want to like dog them for doing this because CEDH does have a meta, but they take the commanders that are like, okay, of course this is going to be the CEDH commander they're doing. But sometimes they do weird ones, and I think this could potentially be a Simic commander that they try out. Not that anything's ever going to beat like the Kinnan player running Simic colors, but
yeah.
No, I think it's cool. I think it's a cool card. And then her other pieces that I just straight up didn't read because I thought Increment was so cool. So her other one, whenever one or more,
need the other one.
Yeah, that's okay. Increment's cool enough. Whenever 1 or more +1/+1 counters are put on Berta, add 1 mana of any color. I mean, I think that's cool. And then for X, you can tap her and create a 0/0 green and blue fractal creature token and put X 1/1 counters on it. So this is Simic big creatures. Definitely wants to be. I think on her face, she wants to be an X spells deck. But I think the whenever 1 or more 1/1 counters are put on her, add 1 mana of any color. Like that's kind of
pretty
cool.
good. There's
like
some
her increment
proliferate in there.
Yeah, her increment mechanic gives you mana back. And then with X spells, you have the flexibility to say, oh, I need it to be like X can be 2. And then your next X spell, like, no, now it has to be 3 or 4 because it's gonna trigger her increment. I don't know, man. If I build one from this set, I think it's gonna be Berta.
It would be cool. I think it's you know, I don't play a ton of Simic outside of Lonis. I think it'll be, at least to me, it seems different than other Simic options I have seen in recent history. So I think it'd be cool. I'll be excited to see if this is a deck you put together, how it plays.
The more and more I look at it, man, it's a frog named Berta. I'm probably gonna build it like this. I don't know how
frogs.
Yeah, I mean the only one I think of is like would it just be better to run Helga as the commander and put Berta in the 99? But I don't know, man. I've seen Helga decks.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'm
I
going to see
was
Berta next, but like my commander's name is Berta. Come on, dude.
also this could be a card for um what am I building? Sheikah or whatever her name is, the Teamer Battlecryer girl,
Eshki.
because she cares Eshki, because she cares about
Yeah.
big mana spells, and so that would she'd be good in, or
That's
Berta would be good in
true.
the 99 in there because you're just gonna
Yeah.
constantly generate that mana back.
Oh,
Because
wow.
my average mana value is like 4.3 in that deck.
Oops, all permanents.
So,
So,
yeah,
yeah.
man.
Yeah, you'll make Berta bigger and you'll add mana, which is what you want for, an average CMC of 4. Yeah, I think
That
this
could
might be a
fun.
commander that is probably better than the 99, but looking at it, I do want to build it, I think.
And I think I'm interested to see how Increment is going to play, because I'm looking at some of the other cards with Increment, and like, we're not going to talk about, but Cuboid Colony. I mean, it's 2-drop with Flash, with Flying and Trample that you can just start making bigger immediately. I mean, it's a base 1/1, so you're going to be casting. You're going to be casting spells that.
I have not seen that card. That is not bad.
And it's an uncommon. So like, I mean, Flash, Flying, Trample, and something that's going to get bigger. That speaks to me. I like that.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's going to go in, but
for 2 mana, it's going to go in something. What was the next one you wanted to talk about? This is one I think we've been alluding to a little bit.
yeah. So this is one that everyone knows this. It's the Emeritus Ideation. It's got the Emeritus of Ideation. It's got the Chase the Chase serialized version. It is a 5/5 for 3 mana, 2 blue. It is a creature human wizard. There's that wizard again. For that mana, you get a Flying Ward 2. This creature enters prepared. When this creature attacks, you may exile 8 cards from your graveyard. If you do, this creature becomes prepared, and the spell that is attached to it is Ancestral Recall. So,
Reserve list who?
yeah, unless you've literally been living under a rock and somehow we're the first Magic channel you've ever stumbled upon in your life,
And that's
you
the
have
case.
heard of this
Subscribe
creature.
to both of our channels.
Yeah, let us shout out you boys.
Yeah.
But I think everything that's been said about this card has been said, but the ability for this to combo or blink itself off of Displacer Kitten is just so much fun. I mean, It enters, you cast the Ancestral Recall, you can target it, it enters again. As long as you have mana of some way, you can just go through your entire deck 1 mana at a time. I don't know what I'm going to put it in. I'm afraid that it's going to make Displacer Kitten a $1 billion card because it somehow has gone up with a reprint. So if you don't have one, get one. But I think it's going to be a lot of fun because, I mean, it's going to put a target on your back as soon as you put it down on the battlefield. I think if you're really going to play it, you'd have to play Displacer Kitten and hope that gets around and then surprise everyone with this.
Right.
And start going off from there. It's definitely a piece that you have to have set up for if you want to exploit it.
This could be a Nico card. This is a blink card. I think that's where the value is. I think I think the ceiling is relatively low, and here's why I'll say that, because if you just look at the amount of mana you need to spend to do the cool thing, let's say you cast this on turn 4 because you've ramped. Cast it on turn 4, turn 5. You can now cast Ancestral Recall. Awesome. Only problem is you've now spent 6 mana to draw 3 cards at instant speed.
Yeah.
Now, if you're able to flicker this creature, or if you're able to, like a Displacer Kitten thing, or even just like a more casual, like, I cast Ephemerate. Like,
yeah.
Later on, the ceiling grows much higher because you've spent the 5 mana. Now it's turn 7, turn 8 in a casual game, and you've got 10 to 11 mana, and you can flicker this a couple times. Like in Brago, you deal damage, you flicker this, and then at your end step, you flicker it again. Now, for 0 mana, you've drawn 6 to 9 cards. That's pretty insane.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a lot of fun in Blink decks. I honestly hadn't thought about Nico.
I was just staring at it, and I'm thinking, wow, how could this be good for 6 mana? And I'm like, oh, yeah, it's flicker effects.
Yeah.
We haven't seen a lot of Displacer Kitten, I think, recently in CEDH. I feel like those combos kind of, like, weren't really meta anymore, but I think you're right. I think this could this could bring some older CEDH stuff back because people are just going to be stoked to be running a copy of Ancestral Recall in their
Yeah,
deck.
I mean, I've been really interested by just some of the shift to CEDH lately because I don't feel like I'm seeing One Rings much.
No.
It's been how fast can you go? So it'd be cool to see if this.
Well, there's our next episode in between the next set review is changes in CEDH as like kind of non-CEDH players, but like
I played in one tournament and I made a terrible misplay, and I think about it every night before I fall asleep.
I played 10 games with Tivit, won 2 games, and tore it down. Yeah. So
Currently have 2 CEDH decks I haven't played.
Works exactly. No, I think Emeritus of Ideation and the other Emeriti that have been released, I think they'll all see some sort of play in a casual setting. I think the only one, in my opinion, that I could see competitive is this one, just because, there's infinite mana combos anywhere you look.
Yeah.
You close your eyes and throw a dart at a table. Someone's comboing to get their deck in their hand or to get infinite colored mana. And when they have that, they draw their deck.
Yep. All right. Got just a few more. Erode.
Yeah, this is
an
my
interesting
last
one.
This is my last one. I did have another one on the list, but the more I looked at it, I'm like, I don't know if I like it that much. Anyway, Erode is super interesting to me. Erode is a white mana, 1 mana, for 1 white, instant speed, destroy target creature or planeswalker. Its controller may search their library for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield tap, then shuffle. Now, I feel like a lot of people will see this and think, why would I just not run Swords and Path?
And
Why
that was
not?
the question I was going to ask as a devil's advocate. I'm like, what makes this card so exciting? Because I've seen people talk about it.
So as an optimist, I'll say why not all 3, but I also understand that, sometimes you don't need 3 pieces of 1 mana removal. And I talked about that in my other video on my other channel, is that, you don't always have to run 13, 14, 15 pieces of removal. Like, your deck still has to do the thing. Anyway, I like this one for a similar reason that I like Path. This ramps you.
That is true.
So if someone goes to blow up your stuff and you have like, oh, well, I'm just going to blow up your stuff. No, instead, go get yourself a land. Your creature's dying anyway. Like, yeah, the feeling to retaliate, to do a little tit for tat. I feel like sometimes even you and I get into a little bit of like, oh, someone blew up my commander. Well, fuck you. I'm going to blow up your commander too. But
Bam!
Yeah. I think in the heat of the moment, it's easy to do that.
Yeah.
But in reality, if someone's going to go blow up Onyxia, I'm like, okay, she'll cost me 2 more. I have a response. I'm an Abzan. I can't stop you from what you're doing, but what I can do is just destroy her instead. Go get my land to cut that command tax in half, or the next thing I draw could be that much better by having an additional land. I don't think it's nothing. I think the versatility is nice, and I think it's pod dependent as a lot of things are, but I think in most decks that want to run a Path and a Swords, this would not be a bad include. I don't think it's an auto include immediately, but I think it's close. I think it's close to an auto include.
Yeah, and I mean, instant speed removal is never bad.
Right.
So I mean, it does maybe suck a little bit just because it's destroy. So there's the potential they can get around that. It's a little harder to, or it's a little easier to get around, I feel like, than exile spells. But again, if you've already hit your Path and your Swords on threats earlier in the game and you draw this, it's you still have removal in case someone tries to put down their Tezzeret, or I try to put an Urza out on the board or something.
Right.
So
and then in the topic of CEDH, like Cradle, Cradle's always been around, but we're seeing a very Cradle heavy meta, I feel like, lately.
Yeah.
So getting rid of 1 creature, for 1 white mana on someone's end step before you untap, shorting them a green mana on their upkeep, that's also not nothing.
Yeah, especially if you can hit one of their, their untap engines or something like that.
But I think this is another one that could see competitive play. But either way, I'm mostly psyched to just have it in, most of my casual decks, because I think most decks that have white want to run this.
All right, so next two we don't have to go super deep into nice, just because there is some. I just wanted to bring them up because there's some decks that could potentially do well with these. So let me bring up
reading
Micah,
your note on this
Rita,
one.
Micah, whatever it is a 3 generic, 1 red for a 4/4 with Ward, pay 3 life. That is not nothing. It's legendary creature, Human Artificer, also not nothing. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you may sacrifice an artifact. If you do copy that spell, you may choose new targets for the copy. So I read this and immediately thought, oh, Stormkiln Artist.
This is a Ska card for sure. 100%.
Because I don't know if you get the... Do you get the trigger off of Storm for both at the same time for the cast and then the subsequent copy? I wasn't sure if you could get 2... Because if you can get 2 treasures off that, then you can just start, chaining stuff. If you have the mana.
Yeah, they both read whenever, so they would hit the stack simultaneously. And my understanding of the rulings around that is you can stack the triggers.
Okay.
So you could resolve the Ska... You could resolve the Ska trigger first, get your 2 treasures, or get 1 treasure at least, and then sack it to copy it, and you would net a treasure. I don't know if you would net mana. That's dependent on the spell that you're casting, but I think you're reading it correctly.
Yeah, I would still get to copy all of my spells and then, use the extra treasures as the sacrifice. And it's uncommon, which is cool. Ward, pay 3 life. I don't know where I froze, but I think we said
Oh,
we were gonna say
Micah. I think Micah seems
Very
good.
card.
Seems fun.
I'll be excited to run that. All right. Then the next one was just Witherbloom the Balancer. I think this is going to be
insane.
A very good card, as everyone else does, considering it's already... I think they've got it at like $60 for the full art and 20-something for the base art, they're guessing is what it's going to be at.
The full art is sick.
Yeah.
That is a gnarly card, dude.
Witherbloom the Balancer. It is 6 generic, a green and a black, so Golgari, and for that you get a 5/5 creature with affinity for creatures, so the spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature you control. Pretty gnarly. Flying Death Touch, not nothing. And then its last ability, the really good one, instant and sorcery spells you cast have affinity for creatures. Yeah,
There's just so much going on with this one, dude.
I was already thinking about building Golgari Spellslinger, but this pretty much just said it, because I was going to build Umori, the Collector.
Oh, yeah.
I was thinking about being Oops All Sorceries, potentially, but I might change that up a little bit.
Yeah, this is just so insane, dude. Like, just looking at it, the first thing I think about is like an Exsanguinate or a Torment of Hailfire.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're able to potentially double the cost of X by only paying half the cost of what you're putting into it with the affinity.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, I have my commander and 6 creatures out. I'll Torment of Hailfire for 10 by tapping 4 lands, and that's crazy.
Well, and with all the effects too. I mean, what was the one I just put into Lord of the Nazgul? The black creature from Commander 21, I think it was. The last Strixhaven block that has Magecraft, and it generates a pest creature token on every cast or copy. And so if you have that out, and then you have Witherbloom out on the board, you're generating the creatures for all of your spells as you cast more and more spells. So you can just get bigger and bigger ones. And yeah, like you're saying, suddenly you've got a Torment of Hailfire that is no one can do anything about, because you have 20 creatures on the board that are 1/1 pests, and you cast Torment of Hailfire for whatever you want.
This goes infinite with Sprout Swarm. It has a buyback cost, which is an alternate casting cost.
Oh yeah.
So if you and it has Convoke, but like affinity for creatures is like Convoke, but I don't want to say better because Convoke can potentially give you colored mana. But it's better because your creatures are untapped. So Sprout Swarm is one of the green with Convoke, which is already silly. Has buyback 3, so for 5 mana, reduced by 4,
potentially 5 generics.
Potentially 5, yeah, because it has Convoke. Because if you have a green creature, you're fine. Cast this for free, including the buyback cost. Put it back in your hand, netting a creature each time.
Yeah, as long as you've got the other creatures on
one
board
card
already.
combo in the command zone.
Yeah, I mean, it's figuring out what to do with all of that, I guess, because I mean, well, then you could sack a bunch of stuff, or just
You
ping
could,
people if you
or
have
just
Aether Flux.
to the table kill me before my upkeep,
Yeah,
or I will
for real.
swing it. I will swing 60,000 saplings at you.
Good luck. Yeah, I think this has a ton of potential to just be silly in so many different decks and with, I mean, so many different builds. Because, I mean, just imagine just running this and then a bunch of Slimes Against Humanity. Just
Oh.
one green every single time for infinitely, maybe not infinitely, but consistently bigger slimes or oozes. Like, yeah, I might think about buying this card if I can.
Yeah, this is a silly one. I think it's funny that like this set specifically. I mean, I think Lorwyn did it too. Like I built Maryland from Lorwyn, so it. But I don't think it was as bad. Like this set has so far said, here's a bunch of legendaries that put a target on your back. Have fun.
Yeah.
And I hope our entire pod builds one where we're all just like at each other until like turn 8, and then someone's like, okay, I got to do the thing, and
Yeah.
then they either die or win, and there's no in between.
I think the limited and sealed environment is gonna be a lot of fun for this set because there's so many different abilities and triggers to build around, and I think they've done a really good job even without the set even coming out yet.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, I think if you have the opportunity to go play a pre-release, this would be the one because
This would be a fun pre-release, I think.
I mean, there's 5, I think, pre-releases or 5 pre-release decks.
That sounds right, and that would make sense with the 5 campuses in the school. So
Yeah, so we've got an Orzhov one. Yeah, it lines up with everything. So the Silver Quill, the Prismari, the Witherbloom, Lorehold, and Quandrix. I mean, I think if I was going to go to one for a limited, like, I bought the Boros Precon, but I think I'd do Witherbloom or Prismari.
yeah,
Because I think, I mean, you said you've been on a spell sling kick as well, and I feel like it's just so much fun.
and I think it'll be fast too. I think this would be a really fast-paced, sealed environment.
Yeah.
Like Lorwyn was my first pre-release, so it kind of felt like fast and slow at the same time, if that makes sense. Like I was like kind of just trying to figure out, I mostly play like constructed commander format. I don't play a lot of limited, and if we do play limited, it's like we just buy a box with our buddies and draft together.
Chaos draft or something.
Exactly, yeah. But no, I think this will be a fast-paced limited environment because of all the spell slinging. Because we have Simic spell slinging, we have Golgari spell. Like
Yeah.
it's not just Izzet right now, which I think is cool.
And I think what's cool too is like you can focus on even within each color, and it's like obviously not each. Well, is each one sort of spell slinging in a way?
Yeah, because the Orzhov, they have the bunch of cards that have like casualty for instant and sorceries, and
yeah,
then
because Orzhov is goad too for this
Yeah.
go around. But the way you can build even the different spell slinging decks is cool because with Golgari you can focus on building up creatures and getting value out of that, or you can go the life game route and try to just outgain the rest of your opponents and wait until they're all dead. So yeah, I think it's gonna be a ton of fun. If you have the opportunity to go play it, I would recommend it.
100%.
All right, lastly, in terms of for the Strixhaven set, we have a new fetchable cycle of lands.
We do. Did not get my wish about a reprint of Fetch Lands. That's just because I'm cheap and I want more Fetch Lands in my deck and I don't want to pay $30 for them. But Fetchable is a close second.
Yeah, I think just in our conversation in the chat, I think I was maybe a little higher on these than you were.
Initially, I think so, yeah.
Because I thought, I'm thinking of it from obviously commander format, and I'm thinking about, casual decks we play, and people ramp a lot. And so, especially if you are in, it never feels great to go last, but if you're in the 4th seat, this could potentially come down your turn 2, maybe.
Yeah, it's an untapped land almost always.
And you can get it out before everyone else potentially could, because the green player is going to have 3 or 4 lands out, and everyone else is going to want to keep up with that, so they're going to ramp if they can. So I think it's a really unique way to try to have a land that, in theory, comes in untapped after turn 3. Late turn 2 or early turn 3. I think it's kind of a fun way to do that, but I don't think it's I think it's gonna be worst case scenario if you have to wait 3 turns to get it
Right.
untapped, but it's fetchable, so like it's still, it can't be bad. Like I can put it on the board, so
It replaces other tapped fetchable lands that come in tapped more often than they come in untapped.
yeah, like the I don't know what they're called, but there's just the the lands that have a basic land type that come in tapped and all. They're the cycling lands.
The Dominaria ones, yeah.
The bicycle lands or whatever they're called, which is cool. Like it's nice if you're going to get those on an end step because then they just automatically come in. But you could fetch this in response to something, and if there's 8 or more lands, suddenly you've got a red or a blue mana, and that could be a Fluster Storm, or it could be whatever you want it to be. That's 1 mana. So I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I think at first I thought they said unless an opponent has 8 or more lands, and I thought, oh, so this is a turn like 6
land.
turn. Yeah, exactly. Which again, like you were saying, is fine. I think fetchable lands is painting with a broad brush in a good way, because you can run surveil lands if you want a little bit better lands that do come in tapped but are fetchable, because those have gone down in price. You don't always have to run shocks or triumphs or whatever.
Yeah.
But with these, like now fully reading the card, which does explain the card if you guys weren't aware.
It is hard to read, but it does explain the card.
It does help. No, I think having it be any, like your opponents collectively having 8 or more lands, I think I'm a little bit more on with these cards. Plus, more fetchables. It replaces the basic, in my opinion, which is always good.
It's just another fetchable land to put in. It's another land with a land type that I can go find off of. Like a 3 visits, right? That's the one that's Plains, Mountain.
Farseek.
Farseek. That's what I'm thinking of.
But 3 visits finds you a forest or nature's lore. Like that's still fetchable with the green type,
And if you're in multiple colors and you have 2 dual lands that have forest in them, you can get them both with a Sky Shroud claim and put them out. So I think I just love getting more fetchable lands. I love getting lands that have a land type that I can get through multiple avenues. I like the lands that come in untapped that don't have a land type, but I want a way to go get them. And plus, you're always getting them and having a shuffle immediately afterwards.
Man, that extra shuffle, even if you're drawing well, you're like, I could draw better, know. Or if you're getting a land pocket, like, okay, this free shuffle is going to help. It will not make my deck worse. It will only has a ceiling. It does not have a basement, I guess is what I'll say.
And it's cool that they're going to be in the pre-con. It's nice to see that they are actively trying to make the land bases in that better, because that was, I put 20 to 30 cards in the Lorwyn Dance of the Elementals. Most of those were lands, or a lot of those were lands, because the land base in that sucked. But the 5-color base in the Mutant Ninja Turtles has City of Brass.
Watsy said, all right, you didn't like the last one. We're going to reprint City of Brass and a bunch of the opponent, the friend lands.
So I'm glad that they, at least it seems, obviously we have to wait to see if there's a trend with it, but it seems that they're trying to make that land base better, which I think is the way to make pre-cons better, more consistent, maybe more powerful, without actually adding a bunch of more powerful cards in them.
Absolutely.
Because they're going to be, if your deck is more efficient than everyone else's, at least anecdotally to me, I think you're gonna do better, and you're gonna put yourself in a better position to win more often. You obviously may not win because someone's gonna have, a counterspell or some way to blow you out going for the win. But if your deck is efficient and you constantly have the mana you need, you constantly have the options to get the mana you need, you're gonna be in a better position every single game. So,
you win games by playing more Magic than your opponents, and you're able to do that if your lands come in untapped. So 10 times out of 10, my untapped land will forward my game more than someone else's tapped land will forward theirs.
So, I think, as with everything we've talked about, more options is just always good. So, love a new cycle of lands. I'll be curious to see how the market responds to it. If it's going to, impact any other land prices, or, is it being new and only in these set colors going to send it through the roof? Because I could see it being a little less than the Oh, not Tron land. Bond lands. Are those the ones that come? The 2 opponents. Is that what Bond?
Oh,
lands
Bond.
are?
I said friend lands. Yeah, Bond lands because they're from Battle Bond. Yeah, that's right.
Okay, yeah. So I could see them being a little cheaper than that because obviously those come in untapped in a 4-player game always.
Yeah.
But
As long as it's not 1-on-1. But at that point,
Yeah.
who cares if your land comes in tapped? You're probably down to the last spell anyway.
yeah, you probably have plenty of mana anyway if it's gotten down to 1-on-1.
Right.
So, yeah, never bad to have another great fetchable land or potentially great fetchable land. Hopefully it's not buku expensive. Yeah, so last thing I guess to bring up is MagicCon Las Vegas.
Yeah, man.
The boys are going to be there in, I don't know, a big way. In some sort of way, we're going to
We'll be there in a way, yeah.
We are going to be there in a way.
Yeah, it's our first con for each of
Yeah.
us. I've always wanted to go, and Cannon just texted me like I was like way back in like January. Randomly was like, "Hey, want to go?" I'm like, yeah, I do actually. And like that night, both bought tickets and said we're fucking going. So
Yeah. But yeah, it is our our first MagicCon. So I think we're both kind of going into it with just like, we've got things we want to do, but we're there to see what it's like. We're there to explore. But if you see us, and that would blow my mind, probably his mind too. Come say hi.
Come
Let
say
us know.
hello.
Come say something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Try to be nice.
Or come say, "Hey, I don't like your opening packs, and I think your opinions on Magic cards
Yeah.
suck." I'll be like, "Hey, thanks for watching."
Yeah, let me know. I guarantee someone is going to be like, "Hey, have you ever heard of a pair of scissors before in your life?" Those Doctor Who packs are hard, man. All right, you
The
don't know what it's
collector
like.
packs get sticky, man.
Like,
People
I
don't
get
know.
we don't want people to break into them, but damn, man, it takes me 5 minutes. Anyway, we will be at the MagicCon October, August,
You got it. A couple more months back.
April
No.
30th through May.
Well, it's May. We'll get there Thursday,
yeah.
but yes.
Yeah, we won't be there on the 30th. Don't come find us.
Don't. I want to go to a shop. That's what I want to do.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, so when this drops, if you know of any good shops in the Las Vegas area, please drop those down in the comments. Let us know because we love going and exploring more shops. Should we go see if the Pawn Stars place has any Magic cards? I think they may have bought. I feel like I've seen a video of Chumlee buying some Magic cards.
Yeah, way back when he bought a beta deck, a starter deck.
Oh, yeah,
and
they cracked it open.
It had a Lotus, yeah. Or no, it had not a Lotus. I think it had Ancestral Recall.
Yeah,
funny
it was a
enough.
Power 9.
Yeah.
I think you're right about Ancestral Recall. But, man, yeah, let us know because I can only imagine that shops in Vegas would be ridiculous in some sense. Like,
Yeah, I've been to one and it's pretty good. I don't remember what it was, so clearly it wasn't that good. But yeah, any shops and then food because we like to eat. So if you know good
Yes.
food around Vegas, I've been a couple times. We both been a couple times. But if you know good food, like drop the rec down below. I'll check out any food.
You been
I
to
like
Secret
eat,
Pizza?
so. No.
we got to go to Secret Pizza.
Okay, we'll get some Secret Pizza.
Secret Pizza, if you don't know,
But we gotta talk about it like this because it's a secret.
Secret Pizza.
We're gonna get some Secret Pizza.
It's in the, I don't know.
That was stupid. I hope you keep that in. That was stupid. I hope you keep that in, but it was stupid.
Roger. It's in like the Eris? Maybe is what it's called. I can't remember. I know how to get to the building, but it's like
Okay.
down a really long hallway, and yeah, it's like it looks like a Brooklyn style pizza place, and if it's still there, we gotta go. My wallet is already screaming at me. So.
Oh, dude, I'm very nervous. I know I'm going to spend money that I don't need to spend, but I've shared that with my wife, and she's like mostly okay with it.
Yep.
So
Also, if you have any cool trades, come find
Oh,
us
yeah.
because we're always
Yeah,
down
we
to
got
trade.
binders,
We'll have our
100%.
binders with us.
or run some games if we got the time. you
Yeah,
know?
if you run into us and we want to play some games, let us know. Like I said, we play
Yeah.
Commander. We got our casual decks. I know we'll each have at least one CEDH deck. I'm
100%.
gonna try to get. I've got Luma ready. I think I'm gonna try to get Obnix ready by that time.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, we'll play CEDH. We'll play Commander. We'll do whatever. We are there to vibe. So we're
We like
looking
hanging
forward
out.
to it. And we'll probably be shooting some content there. I've got
I
some
plan on it.
ideas. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll bring my camera for sure.
And I'll make sure I have more than one battery for the trip
Yeah, buy
and
that
more
battery pack.
videos.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Oh man, this is a blast. This is so much
This
fun.
is
Thanks for
fun,
having me
dude.
on.
Yeah, of course, dude. I'm excited.